has really been a while. Life has been pretty busy lately, which is why I have not been able to put out those longer vlogs. How are you all? Recently, we spent a few days in Metro Manila, and prior to that, I thought it would be fun to take you along. So in our first day, we actually left home pretty early. It was a bit of a rainy start, and since we skipped breakfast at home, we decided to just find something light on the way. I ended up getting myself a pandesal and a cup of cappuccino. And for those who don't know about pandesal, it is this delicious Filipino bread. Then he went for an Americano and salmon dill sandwich. It was a pretty way to kick off what we knew would be a busy day. After that, we hit the road again. Even in the morning, the expressways are just getting so congested, and it is even more noticeable during the holiday season. By the way, so the exit we're coming on actually brings back a funny memory. When this route first opened, we were on our way to Manila City. We were super excited to try it out. We were just following the map, and I keep on reminding him, stay right, stay right. But there is this barrier separating the lanes, and we thought right meant the absolute far right lane from there.
We're not gonna go there. We once there, we thought it's gonna be the exit, but it's not the exit.
Turns out that's actually just the lane to top up the RFID card.
So we can be taking this exit.
Anyway, today we're heading to Intramuros for an appointment. We have been there a few times already, but we've never really done a proper tour. Maybe next time when we have more time, we will explore and maybe even try a Kalesa ride. That would be fun. Alright, so after our Intramuros appointment, we finally checked in, and this is our room for the next 2 nights. Just look at this view. We are overlooking the Club Intramuros Golf Course and Luneta Park. I think I saw an article recently saying that the golf park is going to be a community recreational space on Sundays, which is a great idea for some outdoor activities or even a picnic. Moving on to the bathroom, it is really clean and modern, and I'm not going to lie, the warm toilet seat is a definite highlight. Smart toilet is such a game changer. And get this, everything in the minibar is complimentary. Plus, there is a safe to keep all your important stuff secure. What do you think about it? I'll find it. Oh yeah, here is our shoes. So we often find ourselves returning to the Manila Hotel whenever we're looking for a place to stay in Metro Manila, and a major draw for us is absolutely the food. Our recent stay included afternoon tea and happy hour as part of the room package, so we got to enjoy delicious foods. It really elevates the whole experience. Have you had a chance to eat at the Manila Hotel recently? And what was your experience? Or do you probably have another favorite hotel in Metro Manila that you can recommend for its incredible food? Let me know in the comments. Good morning. On our second day, since we actually got everything done way faster than we expected, like what was supposed to take 2 days was done in 1 day, we have some unexpected free time. So we decided to go to the Mall of Asia. Have you guys been there? It is really massive.
Look, the Carabao.
Yeah. Oh, 2 Carabaos. I didn't get a ton of photos or videos because we were just busy walking around and checking out all the shops, but this mall is huge. Okay, so after we finished up our Mall of Asia window shopping, we eventually made our way back to the hotel. My feet were pretty tired from all that walking around and checking out the shops. But then upon arrival, it was time for the afternoon tea and happy hour again. It was the perfect way to unwind after a busy day of sightseeing and, well, mall seeing. And here's something cool. The food for our afternoon tea and happy hour actually changed between our first day and second day, so we really got to enjoy a nice variety of treats. The next morning, Manila had a bit of a haze going on, not so sure why. Anyway, it was our checkout day and our main goal was just to relax. So we opted for breakfast at the executive lounge. It was actually pretty cool because there were almost no people around. We had the place practically to ourselves, which was just a really nice, quiet way to wrap up our stay before heading out. So we just checked out of the Manila Hotel and now we're heading to Alabang for an appointment. The distance from the Manila Hotel all the way to Alabang is around 24 kilometers. And you know how it is in Metro Manila, it can take anywhere from 30 minutes to a whole hour or even more, depending on the time of the day and of course how bad the traffic decides to be. But we actually tried a new route that day. It was surprisingly smooth and quick. Then later in the afternoon, once we were done in Alabang, our next destination was Makati City. That was another 18-kilometer drive and it took us about 15 minutes to reach. Traffic has been really terrible lately, hasn't it? Have you been driving in Metro Manila recently? How was your experience? That evening, this same 18-kilometer drive we did earlier in the afternoon, which took us about 15 minutes, ended up taking way over an hour. Because look at this traffic. Then when we finally arrived at the hotel, we did a little check-in and then just grabbed dinner at the lounge since it was pretty late already. It was a bit of a hectic day, but we still managed to get everything done, which was awesome. So the next day we were off again for another appointment, and thankfully this one was just in Alabang, so the travel wasn't too bad at all. Later that afternoon, we treated ourselves to some snacks. Got these delicious cheesecakes. I remember a time when I couldn't finish one of these, but I guess my tummy had adjusted to the volume of food that I can eat now. So this was actually our last night before heading back home. We ended up staying in Alabang for 2 nights, but in 2 different rooms. It was actually quite a challenge finding available room in that area during our visit, as most hotels were almost fully booked or is fully booked. However, that situation actually gave us a chance to see 2 different sides of the area, which was pretty cool. So we spent about a week in Metro Manila, and even though it was a bit of a busy days, it was definitely a successful trip. I hope you enjoyed seeing a bit of Metro Manila looks like nowadays and all the amazing foods. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Merry Christmas!
A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy.